Know who we are. Find our way back to ancient Egypt. Get in tune with our own personal spirituality. And when you do that, you will find yourself in tune with your Creator who created you. That's who you find yourself in tune with. And once you find yourself in tune with your Creator who created you, then you won't ever need a religion. And you especially have to know the historical origin of these various religions. And you will never, I guarantee you, you will never embrace a religion as long as you live. You run as fast as you can. Somebody holds a dead white man in front of your face. I was on a talk radio show one time with a white minister. And he told me off the air. Now, he couldn't do anything with me, historically. And he said, listen, Brother Williams, no, don't call me Brother Williams. Okay, I'm not your brother. Okay? He said, you should be a Christian. I said, for what reason? Tell me the advantage that I will have by being a Christian. And he went on and said, well, a Christian, you become a Christian, it makes you docile. It'll make you loving everybody. It'll make you turn the other cheek to your adversary. It will make you a better person. It will make you a decent human being. I said, okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will become a Christian if you go among your people, white folk, and you teach them this wonderful religion called Christianity. And after you teach them this wonderful religion called Christianity, if I see them docile, humble, kind, loving, and turning the other cheek, that's right. I told him, I said, at that point, I will give me the biggest cross that I could find, and the deadest white man I could find, and put it around my neck, and I will be a Christian. Okay? This is what I told him. He said, so now, I'm waiting for that. When that happens, I'm going to be a Christian. I am. See? So, he left me alone. Okay? But now, you take a religion called Judaism. Judaism, like all other religions, are man-made. But it didn't start off as a religion. It started off as a capital entity. A capitalist entity. Meaning that these were money lenders. People who took in jewelry as collateral to loan money on at a high interest. They were nicknamed what? Jews. Had nothing to do with religion. And the Roman Catholic Church at that time did not like the capitalist Jew, because the Roman Catholic Church at that time was the only entity in the whole entire world that supposedly professed Christianity. It was the only entity. And they taught their parishioners against these money-lending capitalist Jews. And these parishioners, under the instigation and guidance of these popes and priests, would confiscate these Jews, these capitalists, confiscate their property, run them out of town, rape their women, kill their children, etc., etc. So now, something had to be done by that. Is that correct? Now, a man by the name of Solomon ben Isaac, called Rashid, came along in the late 11th and early 12th century, and he created a religion called Judaism. You see? Now, they teach you in religious theology that Judaism was first, is that right? And they say Christianity was second, because Jesus Christ was a Jew, they said. And then they said Mohammedanism or Islam was third, is that right? Historically, that's not true. It was Christianity first, Mohammedanism/Islam second, and Judaism last. The religion called Judaism was created to protect that money lender. You see? Very clever. Rashid came from a money-lending family in Treves, France. They were great brokers. And like I said before, these money lenders were being run out of town, their property being confiscated, etc., etc. To protect them, this religion called Judaism was created by Rashid in the late 11th and early 12th century. And this is how it works. With this religion, if you go out and you get 500 or 1,000 initiates to join and embrace this religion called Judaism, they will be called what? Jews. Is that right? Here? Huh? Okay. Let me have a witness. Amen. They will be called Jews. Is that right? Right. Now, the money was called a Jew too, right? But now when the people come after the Jews, they can't find the money-lending Jew because the religious Jew is out there. See, with his little yarmulke and his little star of David and all that kind of stuff. See? So the money-lender, he is now hiding. You don't see him no more. Like, let's go into South Africa. I'm going to show you another example. In South Africa, you had the apartheid system, is that correct? And you had people like P.W. Botha and de Klerk was president of South Africa, is that right? And they were keeping apartheid alive and in place, is that correct? Now everybody, when you speak of apartheid, it's a terrible thing, of course, we know that. But you hated P.W. Botha or de Klerk, is that right? But the real culprit was the mining community, the owners of the mining community, De Beers, Oppenheimer, and the people of the mining owners who owned the diamonds, the gold, and the mineral mines of South Africa. They were the ones that created apartheid. But you didn't see them. They walked around you, among your honey there. You wouldn't know they were there. You wouldn't know he was the one that created apartheid, the one that's been killing us over there. You wouldn't know that. See, because you don't like P.W. Botha or de Klerk, because he's the one that we see. See, so the mine owners you don't see. See? Now, another analysis is this. World War II, 1939-1940. A man by the name of Adolf Hitler came to power, is that correct? You know the story of Adolf Hitler, right? Because the Jews will never let you forget it. Is that right? Okay. Now, let me show you about Rothschild, a financier of war. It's glorified him in that book. Made him a financier of war. You got a war going on in Bosnia right now, is that correct? But you cannot have a war unless you have money, food, ammunition. Is that correct? Somebody's giving those people some money. Somebody's giving them some kind of money to keep a war going. You had a war over in Vietnam. That was the Rockefeller War. John F. Kennedy got killed because of that war. Dr. Martin Luther King got killed because of that war. You see, Martin Luther King was given, his STLC was given $400,000 by the United States government. The NAACP was given the same thing by the United States government. Said, listen, what you do with this money, you go out and you find the best legal defense that you can and bring the United States government into court. And what you bring us into court about is about segregation, discrimination, that you said that this country is implying against your race of people. Okay? So, Martin Luther King marched, he did everything. Everybody knows the history of Martin Luther King, right? What I'm trying to say, white folks don't care nothing about you marching. They don't care anything about that. What they care about is when you tamper and mess with their money. Okay? John F. Kennedy was born into millions of dollars. See, all your presidents that are elected presidents of the United States of America are poor white men. Some of them come to power, they come to the office, they have maybe $2 or $3 or $4 million or $5 million. That ain't no money. Not against a Rockefeller, not against a Kennedy, or W. Clement Stone, who has over $500 billion, and I got $500 billion and you got $5 million. You're a poor man. You need to go somewhere and get you a worker from the public aid office against me. So now here's John F. Kennedy up there, the president of the United States. Okay. He wanted to stop the Vietnam War. Okay. And they said, no, don't do that. Be cool. See, because I got all my money invested, I'm making this big buck off this. Don't do that. They said, no, I have to stop it. This is, we're killing too many of our boys. So what happened, you see, the capitalists who financed this war, the Rockefellers, they couldn't walk up to John F. Kennedy and say, listen, John, here's $10 million, be cool. He don't need $10 million. Huh? Because he never worked a day in his life to buy a loaf of bread for his family. Never worked a day in his life to buy a pair of shoes for his children. Never worked a day in his life to pay rent to keep a roof over his head. He never paid a bill in his life because all the bills that he made and his family made went to the bookkeeper.
Don't know what to read? You can start here.
But he said that it was morally wrong for the Vietnam the continent of Africa. While we go around talking about Islam alaikum, while we go around and embrace a dead white man on a cross and says that this dead white man is our personal savior, while we go around and say we're from the blood of Abraham, brother, while we go around and say I'm a Buddhist, and all while you're saying that ancient Egypt is lying in the continent of Africa. That's our greatness. This is what the European structure that controls the society that we live in, this is what they want to keep us away from. See, once we keep those descendants of the ancient Egyptians away from Egypt, they can do anything they want to do. They remapped this whole world. And when they remapped this whole world, they took the people living in the Nile Valley civilization, who created that civilization, and changed the name: Ethiopia, the Sudan, Nubia, Egypt. You see? That was all one and the same race of people making up what is known as the Nile Valley civilization. But today they go around and say, I am an Ethiopian. When you do that, ancient Egypt is lying in the continent of Africa unclaimed. I am a Sudanese. When you do that, ancient Egypt is lying in the continent of Africa unclaimed. I am a Nubian. When you do that, ancient Egypt is lying in the continent of Africa unclaimed. I am a Negro. I am an African American. I am a colored man. I am part Indian. All this confusion continues to allow ancient Egypt to be unclaimed in Egypt as its very home. So we're going to have to unify and rectify that mistake. Ancient Egypt is the only entity anywhere in the world that will give us back as a people our greatness, and we are a great people. Thank you for listening. One thing, we're going to do questions and answers about an hour. So anybody have any questions, please raise your hand. Amen. Stand up.
I've read that book.
Can you stand up?
Yeah, I read the book a while back, and I have a few questions. You say that the religion is basically our problem, but you go back to the ancient Hamites whose way of life was like a religion. So what's the difference between a way of life of the ancient Hamites and religion? If it's taught correctly, it's not going to use that.
Okay. A way of life that was used in ancient Egypt was based off of cosmic laws, of the universe. Okay? These various religions, such as Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, etc., who are all man-made entities, take the same natural cosmic laws of the universe and put their name on it and say, brother, this is the way of life if you believe in Christianity. Brother, this is the way of life if you believe in Islam. You see? So what they have done, young man, is to take natural cosmic laws that our ancient Egyptian ancestors used in its natural form and then put a label, their personal religious label on. So the ancient Egyptians, like I said before, never practiced a religion. They had a spiritual way of life.
But isn't a religion a way of life, though?
No, sir. I've explained it to you. Religion is man-made. Oh, just a moment. Religion is man-made. A spiritual way of life is cosmic law, universal law. Man can't make universal law. That's what I'm trying to say to you. If you understand those laws and use those laws like the ancient Egyptians did and built that great civilization like they did, you see, then you will understand your spiritual connection with yourself and your Creator. See, it has nothing to
society to because I think that's basically where a lot of these rituals and come because we were out here among savages. And Prophet Muhammad supposedly was supposed to come, and what the Quran was supposed to give to Prophet Muhammad to tame these savages that were out here among. That's why they had to pray 5 times a day, because they were savages. That's why they had to stop.
Listen, I want you to go into a speech on it. I want you to stick strictly to your question. Okay, don't go into a speech on it. I've explained to you, if you want to hold on to Islam or whatever you believe in, you have a perfect right to do that. I have no right to tell you not to be a Muslim. I have no right to tell you not to be a Christian if that's what you want to be. I can only explain to you, in reality, the reality of these various religions. Okay? Now, I told you about natural cosmic law. I told you that these man-made religions have put their stamp on these particular laws and incorporate these creator universal laws into this various religion and then give it to you. And you accept that. So if you accept that, you say you understand what I'm saying, right? If you understand what I'm saying, then that answers the question. See, because I have given you a fact stronger than argument, more profound than reason, more dependable than opinion, solves dispute, supersedes prediction. In fact, always ends the argument if you understand what I'm saying. Young lady?
I just want to perhaps help clarify. We lived cosmically and recognized the universe religiously, but truthfully, consistently. And I'm hoping the word religious and consistent perhaps would help here.
Take the word religion out.
Right.
And put natural laws in its place.
Natural laws, when you say consistent, daily, every day, minute by minute, it was part of us. We couldn't separate who we are from
The natural life. Right.
It was inseparable.
That's correct. Absolutely right. Okay, you got a witness in me. Okay. Well, young man.
It's just some of us through many sorts of natural cosmic laws when it pertains to the Kabbalah, the principle of gender, correspondence, and so forth.
Okay, natural laws of truth, justice, peace, love, and wisdom. See, so if you understand that, then those are the natural laws. Okay, those are natural cosmic laws, spiritual laws. And you mentioned the word Kabbalah when you say, okay, that's Gnosticism. Don't get into Kabbalism because that's based off of mythology. That leads you back to a religion called Judaism. Okay, don't do that. Who's next? Okay, young man, stand up.
First, I'd like to ask you, exactly what you were saying, I feel that are quite true. But we're talking about bringing the people together. When we talk about bringing the people together, we're talking about masses of people who believe in a certain type of belief. In other words, and once the system understands what you're telling us, what our national market means, once the masses were to come and say, oh yeah, Mr. Williams is telling the truth, and we see these people start believing what you were saying. The system is set up to get rid of that person who's going to maintain it. So how we are going to make these changes happen when we understand that the system is set up to keep truth from coming out? Because they do not want us to unite. The thing they want to do is to keep us divided. If you start studying all these philosophers, Chris Mohan, he talks about keeping people in conflict. It's called this division. So how are we supposed to come together when we're so divided? And each one of these religions because of feelings. Because if I study under Buddhism, and I do those prayers and do those chants, certain feelings come upon me. A person studying, he's a Muslim, he's studying. You see the Christian, you see what's called the Holy Roman, they're jumping because they feel they have a Christian experience. So how are you going to change all these masses of people who have all these beliefs, and the system understands that? Okay, because if we start following things, or not following, but say we embrace the concept, which the concept is true, then anybody want to plan. That's the whole concept of it. If everybody came on the same way of thinking, things don't have to change.
Okay,
How we go to that?
Okay, first question starts with you. It started with me, and I'm giving it to you. Okay? I'm not going to worry about myself. Okay? I'm not going to worry about whether I'm going to be assassinated or not. I can't do that. The Creator has imparted in me, Walter Williams, a certain amount of knowledge. I don't know everything. Like I told you, only a fool knows everything. I'm not a fool. But let's say I was used as a human instrument to bring forth certain knowledge in world history at a certain time, and the time is now. I was born with a certain gene inside of me at the time of my birth. That gene was put inside of me to resurrect the ancient Egyptians, But I didn't know that until a certain time in my life it clicked in. And this is what my business was doing. Now, I have an obligation to my people, you, to bring forth certain information. I got to bring that information to you without being afraid of assassination, without being afraid of being rejected by you, etc., etc. That doesn't bother me. Now, 3, I do not want to be your leader. I don't want nobody following me. That's wrong. That's dehumanizing a human being, is to have a person to follow you. Okay? Because you are just as much man as I am. I don't want to be your leader. Okay? I don't want any of your money, because I have money of my own. Okay? If you buy a book, I don't make my money selling books. That's not how I make my money. The book I wrote is information for one community. I wrote this book for one race of people. If any other races read the book, fine. So be it. But it's written for you. Now, it's up to you, once I give you the message, as to what you should do with this message. If you understand my message. See, I'm only let's say a vehicle to bring this message to you. I can't just go out there and take all of our community around America and say, hey, you have to understand what I'm saying, and you have to change because I'm saying this. I can't do that. I have no right to do that. If you're a Christian, I have no right to tell you not to be a Christian. That's not what this book is all about. This book is containing a message for you. So it's up to you. My answer to you is up to you to do what you think that you need to do to galvanize and unify our people. Okay, I can only make a suggestion to you. I can't make you do that. Okay, go ahead. Since you are talking about the system of paying taxes, if you understand, and if we understand as people that we're not citizens of the United States of America, never have been, and never will be, according to the Constitution, then you won't pay taxes. You say, well, I'm not paying taxes because I'm not a citizen. But that goes into another subject. We're not citizens of the United States of America because the Constitution that was drawn up in 1767 did not make us or include us in citizenship of this country. Okay? So therefore, if that's true, and he also sent me a piece of literature, which, thank you very much, I got that piece of literature that you sent. And it really gave me another bullet into that conversation and that subject matter. So if you understand, we as people all over the country, that we're not paying taxes because we're not citizens of the United States of America and don't pay it, okay? Then they have to put all of us, 35 million people in jail, okay? All right, so we're I can only give it to you. I can't make you do anything. I have no right to do that.
So we have,
Yes. Right there. Where are you? Okay. Okay.
This issue right here, that came from the topic I've been working for the past 5 years about reconstruction of space. So to me, that is the most important issue. I realize now, that I guess I didn't realize I was an ancient teacher, but I needed some spiritual. So the thing is, one thing I believe over right here, it's not about now, it's not about escaping what you want, what you got into. We as a people are being announced. Now, whatever religion you is, that's fine, that's your thing, is what I'm trying to say. But we have work to do. And the main thing I've been worried about is the reconstruction of the faith. In the faith, not only black man, but in the faith of their white God. So that's what I like to know what can we do to help that. I mean, they don't even interfere with the doing for ages, but I'm saying it's time for us, as ancient Egyptians, being to say, look, we're not going to tolerate this. Look, we need to talk about it like, let's hold. This is not your prophet. I mean, you have a new thing. That's excellent. But what I'm saying is this, they have a lot of our prophets as ancient Egyptians. And we need to stop this. You know what I mean?
Correct.
I'm all for this. This is what I'm sitting up looking at TV. They are beginning to reconstruct other things. So I'm saying, or you have to do them and you study Egyptian. What can we do to kind of help this man stop this?
First place, you can do this. You're going to have to come into the consciousness of the people. I'm talking about 35 million people living in North America. So I have to come into one unifying consciousness that we are descendants of the ancient Egyptians, and the ancient Egyptians are our ancestors. I can say word. They still are our ancestors. Okay? Then we have a voice then. I can't do it, no Walter Williams can't do that. Okay? I can only do what you're doing, get mad about it, and not like it. But I have to have numbers behind me. If I was to march on that project or against that project, they would have to look up there and see numbers. Okay? So I can only go around the country and bring to your attention that ancient Egypt is unclaimed at this very moment. That's all I can do. And then it's up to you to take it from there. Because I can only do so much as one human being, one individual. That man?
The ancient form is about to hopefully, I think, not mistaken, in October, come together. So I believe in the Washington. Is that going to be one step or one way we're going to be able to unify ourselves and hopefully get rid of some of this nonsense that's going on?
No. That's the wrong way of doing it. First place, he's going to march. Farrakhan represents two religions. He represents Christianity and Islam. Okay? That's his ideology that he follows, along with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. No, that's the wrong way. Then another reason why it's the wrong way, the Nation of Islam takes from our community and never gives to our community. That's reality. If you want to join that march, get paid $10 or $11 to register to march in. If you want to know and get more information about the march, he's got a 900 number to call. It costs you $2.95 a minute. But now he loves his people now. Okay? All right. So, and then the fourth thing is what I'm trying to bring out. I'm not criticizing. I'm only bringing out facts. Okay, this is an awareness. We got brothers and sisters among us. They want to take from us, but they never give to us. Okay. All right. Now, so you have to understand what the Nation of Islam is doing. Okay? No. And then the fifth thing is that Farrakhan, marching to Washington, does not have a positive agenda that he wants to present 1940, 41, before you were born. The whole world was in a depression. A war was declared called World War II. You heard of it, right? People all over the world, millions of people went to work, and factories began to spring up. You follow me? Weapons and whatever else. You see what I'm saying? Money was flowing. You see? You know, we got business now. We need bullets, we need guns, we need planes, ships, everything. We're making this money. You see? And then the capitalist, he captures the spoils of war. You see? Because after the war destroys property and cities and so forth, right? Then urban renewal come in. And he is there to make more money. You see? So that's how you do that. Young man?
Yes, sir. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, there's much mention of teachings that were similar that preceded teachings that were similar to the people that were filled to Jesus Christ. Okay? This is what being said about the Dead Sea Scrolls. And that this is also credit that's given to the sea community around the Dead Sea, and there's also such a community domestically in ancient Egypt. Okay? And that's one segment I want to ask you. Another part is in reference to the writings of Joe Massey, where he talks about the historical Jesus of Christ. And he makes also mention of a similar type Essene community. I think he refers to it as therapeutic, for healers. How does what you, in terms of your statements, pertaining to this, is there such a historical figure, number one, and was there such a community on this whole this fabrication? And what is your statement regarding the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Essene community?
Okay, let me break it down. Let's go into the Dead Sea Scrolls. 20th century European faith. Okay? All right. Now, I knew that when it first came out. To gather more information on what I discovered about the Dead Sea Scrolls, I took a class at the University of Chicago, a DSS class, a Dead Sea Scroll class. I wanted to find out how these European scholars sustain the Dead Sea Scrolls and have the audacity to bring it before the world as being something of truth and not fiction. So I went there, and this is what they did. They're saying that according to the writings of Flavius Josephus, who was supposed to have lived 37 AD to 100 with a question mark, okay, that he in his writing speak about their theme community, okay, because it has never been a Josephus. That's the prototype literature using incarnated names with attached stories. Now I'm going to show you how the Europeans use incarnated names and created incarnated names. Let's take the name Henry. Is Henry at this point a real person or just a name? Come on. It's a name. Now watch me do something to Henry, the name Henry. Henry lives in Atlanta, Georgia. Henry is married to an Atlanta, Georgia school teacher by the name of Helen. Helen and Henry, they have two children, Flaxton and Flaxine. Every Saturday, they go shopping together, the groceries, for their family. And on Sundays, they go to church. Now, what have I done? This is how you incarnate a name. You take a name, you make a body for it, put flesh on that name, and make it become real by attaching stories. people are taught that the Bible is the Word of God and to believe this without question, you see. And if I took that same story and put it into the institutions of the Europeans, and that story is disseminated all over the world in the European institutions, it becomes real, you see. And then I give you a diploma and give you a doctorate in that literature, you see. Then you go out and you teach others about Frederick Josephus. It's never been a Frederick Josephus. If you don't believe it, go to the library and get a set of books called the Encyclopedia Judaica and look up Josephon literature, Josephipon. And in that literature, it will tell you there's never been a man by the name of Josephus. Okay? Now,
Don't know what to read? You can start here. Okay, that will keep you going for a while.